Može li sam neko reći kada vidi ekran?
Vidimo.
Ekran? Super. Super. Okay. First of all, thanks you all for applying to this course, and thank you for honest feedback and some data I required of you to fill in through survey. That was really important for me in order to shape this course and to see in which direction will I go, to see if you guys have any experience for using Power BI or any other data tool that is similar to this one. And based on that, I decided to go not too much into technical direction. In example, I won't go deep into some SQL or some DAX or some other tool that's needed. Basically, we'll just stick to the basics. We'll try to be as efficient and as concise as possible, and I'll try personally to say something more generally about Power BI. I won't go much into details. For any details you are interested in, you can contact me directly or in any other way. That's it. Let's start with the presentation. Let's start with the presentation. If you agree, I won't. Never mind. Okay. So based on forms you filled in, and based on some of my personal knowledge about each and every one of you, and about your interests, about your backgrounds, especially related to data, I have three objectives for this course. First one is to get familiar with self-service business intelligence. Why do we utilize and use tools like Power BI? What's the need? What brought self-service business intelligence to spotlight, and how can we adapt and utilize our data and the needs to support this self-service idea. Second objective, of course, is getting familiar with Power BI family. When I say family, it's not just one tool. It's a set of tools, it's a set of services, it's a set of many other stuff, applications that are containing and that are making one great family, which is supporting all this data process. And third objective would be for you guys to being able to create report and use Power BI service reports efficiently in your future career. When I say create, that's the simple part. You need some data to analyze, you need some data to visualize, and so on. And this will really put you ahead of that. And the second one is to use Power BI service report efficiently. We started in previous period. I'm talking only about Maestro family now. We started some project that's called Data Portal, and that project is 100% Power BI. So it will utilize all data across the organization. I mean, from ePortal, from some other data sources, and it will be hosted on Power BI service. And with this course, you will be able to successfully navigate and use Data Portal, and maybe even soon tailor it to your own needs in the future. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. And those are the three objectives of the course. Before I continue, further, let me tell you some I don't know, ground rules. I don't know, it's a bad term, but okay. Since this is a webinar, I would like you to ask your questions on a discussion channel in the Teams. And I will leave a couple of minutes, I don't know, 10 minutes at the end to answer those questions. So we are not interrupting this flow, this showcase, or so on. The second thing is, if I'm going to fast, please, someone just tell me, turn on your mic and tell, okay, you're going to fast. We need to slow down because there were some issues with connectivity using MS Teams, and to some attendees, there was a slight delay in getting the screen, and for some others, even complete blockage or so on. So if there's any technical problem there, just let me know. Third one is that all this course, all these materials that we will use will remain here at Mistral. There won't be. One of my personal requests was not to go outside of our organization and so on, but we'll record every session, and all necessary files or other resources that are required for workshops will be available until 30th of April. And in case, I don't know, you missed one lecture, or you want to rehearse further in the future, you may or go through labs again, you may be able to utilize all resources that we created for this Power BI course until April 30th, and maybe even in the further, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see how it goes. This is the agenda. We are today. It will be a lighter lecture. We will give some introduction to Power BI. We will give some introduction to Power BI service. We'll talk something more about data and typical data project. And at the end, we'll do one simple lab of connecting to the data and importing that data into Power BI. Next lecture will be about transforming and modeling the data that we imported. On the third lecture, we'll focus on creating Power BI reports and visualization. And on fourth, we will talk more about Power BI service or online offering for this Power BI family. Okay, before I go on, for you guys who don't have any experience with data projects and why we actually doing this, here's some simple cycle of entire one data ecosystem, one data project. And first of all data projects have three goals. First is to ingest data. Second one is to process the data, and the third one is to visualize the data. I'll give you an example. For Mistral, we have a portal, like a source of all data, and let's assume we want to do some reports over employees, over average age, over length of stay, and some other metrics, and so on. What we are going to do first? First, we need to get the data from somewhere, and that is the first step: ingesting the data and getting the data that you need. In enterprise-based projects, this can be fairly complex process. So let's imagine that we need to gather the data from multiple sources. We need to from multiple sources that is different. That is, I don't know. Let's assume that we are dealing with variety of data across our organization, across outside data, and so on. All that data needs to be processed. For this average number of employees or average age or so on, we need to get ages of all employees, and we need to do something. We need to do a calculation and get the average age of those. That would be step two. And third one would be to visualize the data. And Power BI is its main purpose is data visualization. And good thing about Power BI is that it has ingestion and processing of data as components. So that simple tool can do a much more than only than data visualization. Another example. We told this situation with COVID-19. There's a bunch of number of exponential graphs that we are looking at, and let's assume, okay, how do we see those graphs? Where do what's behind it? Behind it are statistics. Behind all those graphs are some data that is gathered from health sector, from each and every country. That data is collected throughout the world. All the data is processed. We get summary of infected over countries, and that summarized data is somewhere on the graph, and that's the end product. We see only the end product, but there was a lot of work behind it. There was a lot of work, infrastructure, only for us to see one simple exponential graph about infected people from COVID-19, and that's it. So, what do we do to help us achieve this? We use something called business intelligence, which represents analyzing historical data, or we can use some data science methodologies that will not only help us understand historical data on what happened, but even maybe help us predict what will happen in the future. On COVID example would be business intelligence scenario would be analyzing and gathering the number of infected people throughout the time. But if we say we want to get some prediction over that when this entire process will end or so on, we need to use data science or AI. So what is the so here what's the self-service business intelligence? Before that, you see this picture. For us to be able to do those 3 steps, there are a lot of tools. I mean, I can't even pinpoint Power BI here, just to share you how. But I want you to remember each and every process of analyzing data has those 3 simple steps. And we have many tools at our disposal to analyze, transform, and visualize the data. And like I said, Power BI has all 3 of them inside that. Okay, let's assume we want to do some data project first. We need to do some upfront planning. We need to do some project discovery. We need to analyze requirements that are needed and so on. And we need to, of course, define the roles of the project, like data architect, like PO, right, developers, and so on. And after that, we need to gather data, sanitize data, store data, and deliver the data to some stakeholders. By doing that, we need to create a consistent view of data elements and their relationship in the organization. We need to set standards and use naming convention. We need to create a bunch of logical and physical models. I won't go into it. And we need to create something that's called semantic models. You see, typical how we do in data project in traditional way, I call traditional way, we need to do a lot of steps, and it can take time. And let's assume we wrapped up some project, we deliver some reports, and the stakeholder says, okay, I need to move this visualization 3 pixels to the right, and that process can goes in the loop, and we are having a constant back and forth between business and between the development and so on. So as a natural consequence of that, some term called self-service BI arose from that. So what that does mean? That means that the end user, the business, the stakeholders, and so on, can utilize the data behind without need to go through this entire process of gathering, transforming data, setting up the project, and so on. Like I said here, self-service has existed since the invention of spreadsheets. So what that means, usually some stakeholder, business, or anybody that is in need of report used spreadsheet, used Excel in Excel to analyze the data and to get something that he needs. So and to send it, like I said, to send it to IT department or some team that is delivering the reports. This way, with self-service business intelligence adoption, there is not much dependence on that expensive and time-costly process, and users are able to analyze the data at hand in a really short amount of time. So this had another consequence. Adoption of BI increased after adopting self-service BI concept into our lives. And third, actually, fourth consequence of that of everything was technical solutions out of the box that arose in previous period. When I say that, I mean Tableau, I mean Power BI, Click, Sisense, and many others. So everything was kind of natural. Everything is heading in direction of eliminating any unnecessary steps and enabling everyone to use, to understand, and to utilize the data that is required for him. I read in a survey, some of you worked with really a couple of exotic out-of-the-box solutions like QuickView and a couple of others, and that's great start. When compared to them, Power BI is much simpler and better integrated with many other services that we are using. For example, MS Teams and many other Microsoft services that's up there for us. So, what is Power BI? I'm using definition here. Definition says, okay, Power BI is a collection of software services, apps, connectors that work together to help you create, share, and consume business insights in the way that serves you and your business most effectively. This is official definition, but many of you already installed Power BI Desktop, went through it, maybe even created some simple reports, and that's actually not all there is to Power BI. Power BI is family. It's family, and here is how it looks like. The heart of this entire ecosystem is something that's called Power BI Service. And what's that? That says cloud application hosted on Azure that is allowing us to distribute reports across some mobile devices, across reports, and so on. So the heart is not Power BI desktop tool. The heart is Power BI Service. And how do we utilize that Power BI Service? We have something that's called, the first time we have a tool, desktop application that is helping us create reports. That's only one component of this entire ecosystem. So in order for Power BI Desktop for us to be able to create report, we need somehow to connect to the data source. So there is another component in Power BI called connectors, and those connectors are able to connect and leverage almost every data source there is. If there isn't some data source they developed, actually the connector they developed, you can develop it on your own. You can request from Microsoft to develop it or so on. But we have connectors that are only helping us to connect to different various data sources. Would it be Salesforce? Would it be Dynamics Navision? Would it be some sample CSV files or Excel files or some databases or so on? There are connectors that are helping us communicate from the Power BI service and with source of data, which can be in various sources. So to rehearse, Power BI Desktop is helping us to create those reports, and the connectors are helping us to connect to data source. Okay, so that data needs somehow to be transferred to Power BI service before delivery. Okay, that data needs to be transferred in a secure manner. It needs to be refreshed constantly. It needs to be up to date. So there is another component of Power BI family, which is called Power BI gateways. There are two types of gateway: personal and on-premise. The main role of gateway is like, I don't know, it's just a gatekeeper between source of data. In example, database. In MySQL example, is between a portal data and the cloud. And that gateway is the first making all this transfer secure. It's upholding, it's doing all the communication between service, between data source, and so on. And it's enable Power BI service to have a constant look into data we need. So Power BI service can be refreshed, live, maybe even live data can be delivered to the end users. So that's Power BI Gateway. Just middleman that's worrying about security. That's worrying about data being constantly up there. So if we need only to get the data once for one report, we don't need to use Power BI Gateway. We just connect using connectors. We are connected to data source, and we import it into Power BI Desktop. That's it. But if we want to further deliver that data for many users across the organization, or maybe even online, we need to use something that is called Power BI Gateways, and utilize it in that manner. And third step is delivery. The data that we created with Power BI Desktop, that we connected using our connectors, and that we secured and made available using Power BI Gateways, needs to be delivered. And there are a couple of ways of delivery. There's of course, we can deliver it to Power BI service. Like I said, it's a web application. We can log into there. We can see the reports, or we can deliver it through a mobile application and have our reports, our data, wherever we go at that point of time. And that's Power BI family. Set of services, but just remember the heart of the Power BI is Power BI service. It's cloud service, and all those tools around it are helping it achieve what's its best at, and that is the delivering the live data to the end users. Okay, like I said, those are the components. We have a Power BI service. We have Power BI Gateway. We have Power BI Desktop, and some of you, I believe, actually, I believe majority of you have used Excel. Those of you who use Excel probably created some charts, some charts, some visualizations there, and you used something called Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View. If you didn't, never mind, but I believe majority of you did. And Power BI Desktop, for those of you who are active Excel users, Power BI Desktop enable you to utilize all those features and functionalities of Excel itself, like Power Query, Power Pivot, Power View as well. We already mentioned Power BI Mobile, and I'll just go to this link and to say something about the Power BI pricing. Power BI pricing, which is another different way to look at Power BI. There are a couple of differences between. I won't go much into details on this, but like I said, there are some limitations about Power BI free version, Power BI premium version, Power BI Pro version, and so on. I won't go much into details, but here is something that's important for Maestral. Maestral has a number of Power BI professional licenses for you that are acquired through partnership with Microsoft. And those of you who have a need to look into the data and to utilize not only data portal project but utilize their own data analysis need can get a license for free, and you can go ahead. I mean, after wrap up this entire course curriculum, you'll be able to work on your own on Power BI desktop and on Power BI service, which is on the cloud. So you have your pro licenses. You don't need to worry about anything regarding that. Okay. Actually, that's it. That's it about the introduction slide. Now, before heading into discussion, I'll say something. I'll demonstrate all of those all of those features I mentioned. So, let me open the Power BI desktop first. In the preparation for this course, you all saw some prerequisites, some materials, something you need to do, and I believe you all downloaded the Power BI desktop tool from Power BI site. As you can see here, it's a simple interface. It's similar to each and every Microsoft product there is. It has some tabs, some tabs above where we can get the data. If we can transform data, we can do some modeling, we can do some custom options regarding view and so on. On the left-hand side, we have 3 additional tabs. First one is report tab. On this blank page, we are designing reports. Here is what's the end product. Below that, we have some data tab where we can explore and utilize the data and do some data analysis on it. And below it, it's a model tab where we creating data models that will support our reports and things that we are currently using. On the right-hand side, we have three different tabs. We have a fields where we are exploring fields in the data set that we will use. We have a visualization tab that we can not only add or assign those fields to any visualization, but it can be only format and structure and modify those visualizations to suit our report needs. And we have a filter tab that can help us filter the data in order for us to display only data that we are needing in reports. This is Power BI desktop. It has simple interface, and I won't talk much about it. Let's start with exercise. On the actually, let me open my Teams first. On the general, in under exercise, we have for day one we have some links that we will analyze and import in the future. So let's take the first link. Let's copy it first, and under the get data scenario, actually let's paste that link into browser first. So to see what are we having here. I just wanted to show you, to demonstrate you how Power BI can import data from different sources. And on this particular exercise, I want to import country data from web. So here's the link. What I need to do to do it, I need to copy the link from here. I only need to get data. This get data is a button that you'll use the most. I choose more. I go. I pick up web. put in connect, and just paste the link. Okay. And here's what is Power BI doing. It can read every page on the web as long as it's in HTML table format. So this is one useful feature for us to scrape data from the web if we want. Let's on the left-hand side here, we are selecting what do we want to import. We just click here, and we say, okay, load. Power BI is now connecting to web and gathering the data we need, and voila, and that's it. We have that data into Power BI desktop ready for us to make some reports. Let's rename it. Let's double click here, and let's say countries. Let me give you one more example regarding web. I'll copy this link. If we want to import the currency exchange into our Power BI, just copy it. I will go to countries, to Chrome, paste it. Let's assume I want to import this data about currency exchanges for today's date. Just copy the link, go into Power BI desktop, say get data, choose web, paste the link, click OK, connect, and choose the table I will be importing into our Power BI desktop tool. Just click load. And we'll rename that table to be currency exchange. And that's it. That is the I believe the simplest process to import the data we need. Okay, let's go to the second tab on the left-hand side. Let's go to the second tab to explore the data we imported. Here, and we can see that all data is there. And what's more important is that we kept the previous source. So each and every table or data set or something that we are importing currently stays there. And what I started to do right now is to build a Power BI model. I'm gathering the data. I'm gathering the data I need and everything, and we started to build our Power BI model. I won't go much into Power BI modeling. I'm leaving that for the next lecture. I will now demonstrate you a couple of more imports. To our Power BI desktop tool. Next one is, as you can see on the files, we go to files on general, and we can see that we have two files here, which I prepared for you guys to test it. One is XML file, and one is CSV file that we will try to import. It doesn't matter. It can be Excel file. It can be whatever, JSON file. Never mind, JSON file, so we can analyze some responses or something like that. Anything can be imported. For our next exercise, we will import.
No, sorry. Can you just repeat what you've said? Because I lost you. I don't know about the other people.
Okay.
Just the instructions again.
Okay. For our next exercise, we will import two files. That is XML file and that is CSV file. And just keep in mind, we can import whatever we want. in example, we can import Excel files, we can import JSON files, or whatever we need. Please copy those files somewhere to your computer, to your location, both catalog XML and HR dataset.csv, and I'll do it as well. I'll download those files. There's something wrong with my downloads, but never mind. I'll copy it. I already downloaded previously, so I will copy it. Over to one folder that I'm using. So please download those files to your local computer. I'll create some folder. Actually, I won't create folder. I will utilize the already created folder here. I'll copy the dataset. And I will go to Power BI. Let me just copy the XML file I've been talking about. Just a second. Something is wrong with my download from the Teams. So we are experiencing some technical difficulties. Okay, just give me a second. I named that file catalog XML. So in order for us to import the data from CSV, we only need to do following: get data, choose text CV, text or CSV, and go to the location we chose here. Choose the CSV file that we want to import. Click open, and voila, that's it. We have our file. We won't transform it now. We only click load, and it will load the data here. As we can see, it's already in our desktop, in our Power BI desktop. And let's create one simple visualization. Let's say we want to choose employee's name. You don't have to repeat after me for the next steps. We can choose employee names. And If I click here, I've got count of employees in a second. That's it. Data, when it's imported in Power BI, it's already ready to use, and we can use as much as possible. Next one, I want to import XML. I go to get data, of course. I choose more. I choose XML from sources. Click connect. And I do catalog. I say food. You see how it. Let me go back to the XML. XML file looks like this. What Power BI did here is transform from this version to something that is more readable, like here. We can just click load, and it will help us. Let's go to data tab. Let's choose food, and we already have XML files in our model. This feature, importing unstructured, actually I'm importing differently structured data from JSON, already helped us on a couple of projects. So Power BI automatically transforms JSON or XML files the way it suits us most. And of course, those are the same rules apply for Excel, the same rules apply for any other source. And the next thing I want to showcase to you is connecting to database. For this, we have made a setup of a Azure SQL database. You all have been provided with credentials to access that database. You may find them on exercise, and you have an address of database. So for those of you who are not tech guys, it's really simple as that. We just copy the address of the database. We go to get data. I'll say more, and I'll choose Azure SQL database. I'll say connect. I go with server. I click import. Import direct query will actually, there are two ways of importing the data to Power BI. We can import data, entire data, to us, or we can choose a direct query that is not importing the data, but not all data, but only data that we need at that specific time. I'll go more into this connectivity modes tomorrow, but here's it. I enter the address name, click OK. I've already screenshotted for you, those of you who didn't connect previously. I screenshotted the how should you enter credentials. I've connected already, so it gave me everything. And here's database. I can choose whichever table I want to import into our model right now. Let's say an example. I want to know everything about order details. I just click order details, and I click something that is called select related tables. And everything that is supporting those order details will be imported. Never mind, we'll talk more into depth about that as well. The point is, this is how you connect to database. Enter credentials, select tables or views or anything you want to import and analyze, and click load. This is something I need to say as well. Whatever you do with database, you can't break everything. Power BI is only reading the source of data. It's not doing any writes, any updates, nothing that could mess up the data that we are querying. So we connected to data. Let's see, sales product. And this data is now at our disposal. We can do everything what we want with that data. and no actions that we undertake will be reflected back to database. So you have absolute and complete freedom to do whatever you want with this. That's it with these exercises. I just wanted to showcase you that Power BI can import data from variety of sources. An example, we go to get data to more, and you can see all of those sources or connectors that are currently implemented to Power BI. For majority of those, I don't even what that means. I mean, what's Zucchetti HR Affinity? No idea. TenForce? No idea. And just Power BI can import the data from a lot of sources. And the last step, last thing I want to show you for today would be navigation through Power BI service. I also there are also steps here. I believe you passed everything, every of those steps. You navigation powerbi.com, logging using your Mastral email account, and if you don't have a Power BI Pro account, requesting a trial. I believe you all went through that step. It's really simple. If somebody stuck on some step or they need any help regarding this, just let me know. And when you log in there, here's what you got. Going to this is Power BI landing page. We go sign in, and I have a lot of going on in my workspace. Other things. I'll show. We'll go into details, but here is how it looks. It has collection of reports, workbooks, the dates, the data flows, blah blah blah. We'll talk more into details. What's important for me is that you log in here and you create your account using Mastral solution credentials. One more thing. I'll just show you an end product. An end product. Here's one of how one end product looks like. This is an end product. And after these 4 classes, we'll get there. That's it from me. That's it from me. Now, are there any questions regarding this lecture? I know it's a bit maybe overwhelming at this point, but it's really really simple to use Power BI to connect to any data source you want to model the data, and in the end to create some cool reports that will help you in your endeavors or help you solve any business need you have. That's it from me. Are there any questions regarding this?
Yes. Firstly, the comments on the video didn't work, so I couldn't ask it while you were presenting. So that's one thing. The second thing is for the pulling of the data from web, can you schedule it to pull on regular intervals? Like you were pulling exchange rates, so for that one, it would make sense to pull it every day, right? Was
sorry, I was on a mute. Let's leave that part for Power BI service when we're doing online. For Power BI desktop, you click refresh. For Power BI service, answer is yes, with difficulties. Because there are some sites that need some different authentication and so on. So in majority of cases, yes, from Power BI service. But in some cases, you need to do some extra configuration to refresh data. I mean, here's a web table. Power BI is looking at web as just another table, another data source, or so on. So answer is in most cases, yes, for now.
okay.
Okay, any other questions? Guess not. Guess everything was clear. That's it from my side. Go through the try to connect to different data sources, and like I said, see you on Thursday, same time, 1 p.m., where we will discuss transforming and modeling the data that we are importing into Power BI. That's it.
Thank you, Muaz. Can we have applause, please? I would just like to say thank you so much for presenting this in English. It's